And welcome back for the second match of the cast. We are going to have Wrestler versus Adafheyesh here on the highest league possible in this, which is Grandmaster. So we have first the leaderboards for this before this match. So at the time of this match, we had specific leaderboards for both players, where whatever they had already played. In general, we have OP Rights and Munich dominating here. Legorv also having won one match and lost one. We also have Adafheyesh here and Wrestler, both pretty much in the middle here. They're trying to get something out so they can get a few more points. Generally speaking, in terms of history, Adafheyesh has fared better than Wrestler, but Wrestler, they've played each other 3 times, and Adafheyesh has won all 3 times. But Wrestler always lost by very small margins. So maybe this is the chance for Wrestler to finally win one match against Adafheyesh.
Yeah, this is definitely going to be a good chance for them. What's interesting right now, but of course, the standings so far is, with only one game beneath their belts, they both had a tie, but their ties are very different. Adafheyesh's set was almost entirely Sniper Party. They each won one spy game apiece, where Wrestlers was much more of a mix. So at least based on, and I think that actually tracks overall to me. I think Adafheyesh is more known for their sniper. And so we might be heading into something where if we start seeing the snipers just in general being more uncomfortable, that should play to wrestler strength. But if it starts turning into Sniper Party, that's a place where Ada has played a lot of SpyParty in. So again, we'll probably have some early indications there based upon how comfortable the snipers are feeling at the time. They would love to come away with a win here, of course, because it's just going to be tough to break into the top here, and so you just got to be picking up the wins where you can because it's a murderer's row, right? Like just from top to bottom, incredibly close group. Like even if you look at the games lost versus the games won overall, just for everybody that's played so far, there's not that much separation in the games, right? Like even Opie, who's currently in first, they have a separation of 6 games more. They've won 6 more games than they've lost. So they've gone 18 out of what
30 games?
30? Yeah.
Yep.
So which is it's that's above half, but it's not that much above. We're not seeing a bunch of stomps in the set so far, and I think that's going to be expected. I think it's going to be a grueling set. And also poor Pafke, they've won, they've gone 14 and 18, and they're 0 for 2. So Pofke is in shape and had some really close sets and close losses so far, but that's just how Grandmaster is going to be. It's going to be brutal like that.
Yeah, those are 2 9-7 matches, and that's a 1 game difference to just tying and 2 to winning. It's really, really close and unfortunate. But we do have Adafheyesh and Wrestler here, and their draft. So I'm not quite sure what they're going to pick.
Well, so we have I think, a pretty traditional Veranda ban from Wrestler. I want to say that I've seen Wrestler ban Veranda a decent amount when Wrestler was in Ruby last year. And then Restricted Modern, I'm actually a little bit surprised by. And then just a ban on Balcony. So this is a very classic, again, if you're a sniper and you feel comfortable in Sniper, get rid of Balcony. We talked about this last time. It's not a comfortable place for snipers. You just get rid of Balcony, don't even mess around with that. And then didn't seem like they really declined very much. And in fact, if anything, the next kind of ban for, let's just say you're just a good sniper and you don't have any map preferences, or sorry, venue preferences at all. You ban Balcony, and then you might restrict Taeyin, but actually, in fact, Ada actually selects Taeyin, so I do find that interesting, and actually additionally multiplies it, which is just a unique spot for snipers to find themselves in. And then, what do you think about the rest of the picks coming over from Wrestler?
Yeah, we've got High Rise and Pub, which are three of X venues, so relatively small. We also have a Pub multiplier. They're multiplying their own venues. You could multiply. We've seen last week, for example, a multiply on Ballroom, which was a very standard venue, and they both multiplied Ballroom. Instead, here we're just going to multiply our own venues, which is totally fair. We've also got Aquarium, which is also another occlusion venue like Tayen. And the restriction on Modern, we just don't really want to see Modern too much. It's too big, and Adafheyesh just taking advantage of that a little bit as well and picking it as one of their singles.
Yeah, interestingly, that we're going to see. So we're not going to see any five of eights. So we're not seeing Veranda. We're not seeing Library. Um, we are not seeing any two. So we're getting rid of Balcony. So we're lots of three and four. So lots of the kind of the middle pack in there. Very interested in the Pub multiply and the Tayan multiply, but I guess we'll have to get there. I think there might have. I don't know how we look at delays in here, but what is this? What is what we're seeing already been delayed? As far as like when it is? Okay, it is.
Yeah.
Very interesting. Very interesting in the delay on pub, and actually desiring to delay out ballroom. People often like starting with ballroom just to kind of get their bearings, right? Such a traditional map on there. So a couple interesting delays already to start with.
And we are going to start with Aquarium, which is one of the two occlusion venues we're going to see today. Only 2 games. It's going to be relatively short. But Adafheyesh is starting off here as the Spy Rocker. And if we're all ready, then we can go in 3, 2, 1, playing it.
I'm a little bit bummed we're not going to see Redwoods. That's the only other map that I love to see in this matchup. But perhaps either wrestler doesn't love Redwoods or thinks that Ada is good enough on Redwoods because that's the other venue that has a pretty nice little spy win rate. We are going to join our seduction target at books here. We're going to wait until after grabbing the book because there's no rush. They're grabbing the book at the same time, and that so we're going to definitely get enough time to get the flirt in there. So sometimes spies always rush the flirt before picking up the book. But Ada very astutely sees there's no problem here. Let's just grab the book with the correct timing and go for the rest of the flirt later.
Yeah, I wonder if we could have tried waiting one more cycle on the book before putting it back to get our flirt cooldown, because we're now joining the conversation right next to our SD again. By the way, we're too far for a green, so that's a bit sad. But we could have tried waiting at that book to just expire that flirt cooldown much faster. And now we're not even gonna get a flirt off, but it wouldn't have been complete anyway. So we're not
No, it's a
too
good
sad.
point because you also if you go for the second cycle while your seduction target doesn't, which Ada might have not necessarily seen that Tex is putting the book back in time for that, is you also get to see where your seduction target goes ahead of time. It did end up being pretty easy to follow them, but yeah, instead we do go for the inspects, pick up a highlight. Oh, just a straight up white swap, just a straight up white swap. Almost certainly that is intended to be a green. I don't think anyone. I mean, even if someone was there before, I doubt we're gonna go for the 50-50. That's it. So
Yeah.
it's just gonna be a shot.
Yeah, at this level, I mean, white swap, white purloin, white tray purloin is basically death. So if you want to do those things, if they're not green, don't expect to live long.
Yeah, and the other problem that we were gonna hit there is just overall interesting timing for us to do that. I don't think that Ada necessarily was cared about this that much, but we did the swap behind Shark. And doing the swap behind Shark, but then having a lot of time left is, I mean, in some ways, I mean, we did hide the fade behind the Shark. So if it, let's say we did follow somebody that had been there previously, and the sniper wouldn't be able to tell if it was a green or a white swap. So there's that advantage, but nobody was there previously. Is it kind of makes you worried about that spy a little bit? It makes you kind of like track whether or not they had visited statues. So interesting play there. I think it was probably reliant on hitting a green. I want to know what Ada would have done after that, but they went all in on a green, didn't hit it, and Wrestler walks away with a relatively easy sniper win to begin.
Yeah, and I think that's going to be a theme here. We're going to continue with some sniper wins, but let's hope for some spy wins here on our second game on Aquarium. Wrestler playing as Dress. In 3, 2, 1, playing it.
And that's something that's kind of fun. Is like let's say both players are just generally strong snipers. Sometimes what happens is the spies will try to do crazier and crazier things. By the way, as you're noting, insane bouncing at the beginning here for us to try to end up next to our seduction target. I think we'll be fine. I don't know if Ada is going to be caring about that much. And after all that trouble, we only hit a white flirt, so I don't know how much we're going to feel like it was worth it. But we do at least have a flirt, and we'll have the delegate in hand.
Yeah, we demanded a drink here to skip the line. We didn't want to wait too long. Obviously, AIs never do that. They're very polite. The spy is not. We're going to join the conversation with our double agent here, or not. We decided to redirect away from that and instead join the SDA.
Yeah. But back to what I was starting with is sometimes if you feel like the both snipers are good, you do more and more like risky things to try to throw the sniper off their game. But if the snipers are familiar with that kind of play, it kind of starts making the sniper just like really look for weird things in their rotation. So if it ends up being that kind of set, I don't know who would have the advantage in it. But I do think that both these players have played through sets like that, where they go for just pure aggression and interesting plays. We sent a delegate to, I think that's Bling Twin. I should learn by now if N or M is Bling or Plain. I think that N must be Bling, right? Bling is second.
Yeah, I believe Bling is second as well. But it's true, I'm not entirely sure about it. We do get. We didn't. Well, we know that there was no fingerprint on that briefcase, unfortunately. We are going to be able to finish Flirt here, and the Purloin also went off. So we're in a relatively good position. We still need a contact and a fourth mission.
Yeah, and so Plane gets a low light, so that's great because initially Plane was highlight, and I was worried that if we weren't paying attention because the twins' back was to Sniper, if we didn't clean that up, we might eventually start forgetting who actually took the Purloin. So Ada is on top of at least the Purloin taker. Isn't has yet to highlight White Dress, and it does seem like the highlights are indicating, at least for Blink Twin, Purloin suspicion, not other mission progress. So we might be in a good position here. Hard to fully tell. We do still have a lot of mission progress to do, but this really could pay off for it, especially since we're able to join the same conversation circle with Double Agent as the person that we sent for the Purloin.
Yeah, so we're going to be able to get a good contact here. I don't think we want to wait too long. There we go. It's going to be White. It's going to be 4 lowlights, 1 already taken. We are now marked. We're now highlight. I wonder, just for getting a real BB then?
It could also be clicking in that we may have remembered where our position is, so we might be more suspected for the Purloin. It could also just be traditional. You are the thing that changed that made the banana bread better. All the other changes that happened for the last like 10 seconds made the banana bread worse for certain people. And so the person instigating the goodness of change might be the spy. So the person that benefited the most from the repositioning to initiate the banana bread when that happened was that person, and potentially Bling if they wanted to frame White Dress.
Absolutely, and I really like that explanation as
Oh,
well.
I just swap. Almost certainly a swap is going to be
Yeah.
coming off here.
We're going to try and do a shark walk, I think, because the shark is going to continue going on the lower side, but we're going to get shot. No, we're not going to get shot before.
Yeah,
It's
I
going to
think
be
you're right that
overtime.
we're going to do the shark walk. You're completely correct about this. And are we going to actually are we going to do
Yeah.
the clank? It is going to be too late, Ada. You're getting punished. You're getting punished.
What?
Wait. Is it because there's lag? Like on our screen, that's impossible. There's
Yeah.
that actually there must. Okay, so which direction does the shark lag go?
So the shark lag's behind, I believe. So indeed, there's slightly there must be a slight visibility there that we don't have on the replay.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah.
so you know what's funny about that is if we were any character but White Dress, I think we were gonna be fine. We are just too slow to keep up. So what happened there is so we swapped the statue at the apex of the shark pretty much, but we can't keep up with the shark. So Ada very astutely does not freak out and just like shoot Toby or or Dame in frustration, that sometimes snipers do, just because they're like, well, god damn it. Um, Waits for a white dress to appear behind the far side of the shark. So honestly, neat play by wrestler, but really good response from Ada. Just the correct way to mitigate that damage there for sure.
I think it was a good play. It just unfortunately didn't work out, just barely from wrestler.
Yeah, absolutely. Nice try from wrestler there. I thought Ada lost that from letting White stay at the statues another cycle. But Ada able to find that shot and confidently at that. So we leave with all that drama. We had an easy shot to begin with, and then a really difficult shot second. So yeah, kind of mixed on coming from that, but at the end, just a 1-1 tie coming into Taeyen for four games in a row, I think.
Yep, Taeyen is multiplied, unless I'm mistaken. No, that's correct. And we're going to see 4 games. So far, SpyParty, I don't think that's going to change, but Taeyen could actually change that. Very small venue, lots of guests, lots of movements. Bug is credited for everyone. Let's go in 3, 2, 1, playing it.
So ostensibly, like, so what's funny is I again without any ideas about particular snipers, I'd be like, oh, this is a big opportunity for. We have a white test to begin with. There's going to be a beep. So if wrestler has the typical time amount cooked into their head of Taeyin, that beep might set off time ad alarms in their mind. But honestly, if they're not paying attention to beeps, it's not going to be too much of a problem at all. But sometimes it's actually better to wait like a split second longer before doing that first initial time ad if you're not going to get it off in the first 15 seconds because then there's no beep. But honestly, it seems like there's not a problem with that at all.
Yeah, we grabbed a book from Green here. The shojis here are on the right side. That means they're covering up the statues. Instead, that means when we grab the book, it's pretty visible. I'm not sure we want to put it in blue, but maybe we'll just keep the book for now and make the sniper forget about it.
Yeah, absolutely. So it's among well, I guess it's not truly worse, but like we traditionally I beat this horse to death with when we do this analysis on Taeyin, but like you want the first two Soji to be opposing. Having the back Soji be opposing from the front two on one side, it matters a little bit, but not that much. It's really all about the front two. So it's this honestly is not that different from all of the Soji being on the statue side. We'll see what Ada's able to do with this. Ends up returning the book to the original position, so no microfilm shenanigans coming in here. Oh, I'm wrong. There is microfilm shenanigans coming here, and it's at a great timing. Ada really reading the angling of wrestler, trying to dive into the statue pockets and getting into the conversations and guarding bug and all that kind of stuff, and very correctly is able to pick up a microfilm. We are going to get highlight from here though, and that might make things a little bit trickier. But we have now with this microfilm, the inspect, and the fingerprint, we have the option for a silent game.
Yeah, so we went back to the to the bookcase and went for that microfilm, which I like a lot. The second microfilm, if we get a good read on the angle, like you said, that might be we might get away with it. What we really want here, though, is potentially when we're going to go back to statues. I think that was kind of a memory highlight because now we lost the highlight again. So when we're going to go back to statues, the sniper's alarms are just going to go off. And if we're seen at the second bookcase, and the sniper might put 2 and 2 together, and we've got 4 missions here with flirt, inspect, fingerprint, and transfer.
Yeah, actually, I don't even know if we're gonna actually go back to statues at all. That might be a one visit, get credit for statues, get this fingerprint, and then contact, and then wrestler might expect a statue visit out of pony to finish. Yeah, we take this book away. I'm pretty positive about this. We are going to contact. We're gonna maybe step out of this conversation. Oh, but double agent leaves. I was gonna say we might try to step and do something kind of funky here. Are we gonna go for this white test right in the face? I mean, there are going to be some zoom ins on Ambassador here. We are going to go for this. Going to be a white. Oh, he's gonna be blocked, but the head turn is visible behind Damon, but I don't think Wrestler was paying attention to it. So I think we are gonna get away with this, and so I think we're gonna have 3 missions done and just go for this contact. And yep, okay, we don't dip in for the inspect. We get a low light. We get a low light before. Oh, it's brought back up. I don't think it's gonna be enough to get shot, but we'll see because this game has been a little bit back and forth.
Yeah, this we just looked straight at the sniper for that. It's a highlight, but it's not a shot, and that's 4 missions.
Yeah, I like that. So like, if Ada is kind of priming the sniper for a statue visit, like just kind of like calling out to sniper, yeah, statues are gonna be part of my finish. So you can like look for it. That's one thing. But I think getting the fingerprint and going in for the transfer is just really good. Really, using the fact that there's sort of like this quote unquote disadvantage to what I was talking about at the beginning of both Soji being on one side, it does let the sniper make the decision to cheat over to the left side of the menu to get a really good angle on everything else that's happening. And really, the only downside that they would have is if somebody goes for microfilm, which Ada indeed does. Well played.
Yeah, we usually regard microfilm as one of the harder missions here in general, and Ada just masterfully doing it. Congratulations. Nice spy win here. But we are moving on to our second Taiyan game. Wrestler going forward, twin shenanigans potentially in 3, 2, 1, playing it.
Yeah, so now Wrestler giving up the break early is really going to put pressure on Wrestler to find a spy win of their own. Of course, I mean that's just true in general, but that's going to especially kind of put their engine in high gear because we're not going to be looking at Sniper Party from here on out. Sorry, and to find a win if we have Sniper Party from here on out. So we have a little bit of our foot pressed onto the gas for sure.
Yeah, we get a nice 51% flirt here. We're not going to do much more for now. Taiyan is usually a slightly slower paced venue. You can do missions very quickly because it's a small enclosed space. We're kind of hoping for Double Agent to join us, but that's not going to be the case. Instead, I think we're just going to wait here a little longer and get our flirt cooldown.
We should be a little bit worried about Orange Sari. Orange Sari took a path behind Soji that could have easily been a bug path, and indeed does get a highlight for going to the back corner. And also, actually, just doing some interesting things here. We'll see if Orange just gets a low light for going pad to pad. We get a fingerprint here. I don't see the tracking yet coming off for it, but it could be just in the back of our mind until that second pit of the fingerprint comes off. But I think that Orange Sari is going to eat up a lot of attention here by the way that they played this. They're going to pick up the fingerprint. They're stealing this briefcase.
I like
it.
Return
or not? They're just putting it back down. Excellent. I like the idea. Just go all for it because I mean, if you try to return it, then like, well, how did you get that briefcase so fast? It looks good. Tex really covered us for a lot of that. That play was available because we had a tall character in front of us at all. So I mean, of course, there was visibility on our character at least in part. But yeah, and now Wrestler just has to avoid fingerprintable objects for the rest of the game, and Ada doesn't have a chance of crediting us unless we somehow caught that briefcase.
Yeah, we've got 2 missions now, thanks to that. We're missing a contact. Double Agent hasn't been very nice joining conversations here. But what's our 4th mission gonna be? We could just go center statues and bait the sniper into a shot here.
Yeah, and Orange Dress is joining, so I don't want them to contact before then. We do need to do something at some point. I mean, we've just been hanging out in this one position for so long. I think we've really wanted a bug. Okay, we're gonna fake. So that is going to. I mean, that's just honestly, that's almost like a reflex fake. There's nobody out of conversation circle at all. So honestly, we don't know if that's going to work out well. So we finally get the bug we were waiting for, by the way. So Tex, by the way, left us after, man, Tex, such a wonderful seduction target all game. Covered us for the briefcase, returned back to the same spot so that we could come for the bug, and now we have a real banana cup. I don't think there's a chance we're getting shot here. I think we've played this way too smoothly. Other characters are way up the suspicion list, excellent game by Wrestler, and again, really taking advantage of the positions that we had there and sticking in that position long enough that again we get a little luck for seduction target coming back exactly to where we were, but because the conversations were so full, there wasn't that many places except for places like um, statues for seduction target to go. So well played by Wrestler, really making themselves available to what the party had to offer and just taking it all for what they're worth. And I just have a feeling Ada is caught off guard entirely there.
Yeah, I wonder if you could have tried to track guests between the conversation or remember who moved between the conversations between those two banana breads because they were relatively close. But honestly, that was a really nice bug. Fingerprints were essentially hidden. So that's a really nice way to tie it up for Wrestler here.
Absolutely. And Ada's going to be stepping into a little bit of a very different Soji setup, and we'll see if they adapt.
Yeah, we've got Shochi's all on the left side here instead. And playing it in 3, 2, 1, go.
I do not think that Ada will get away with doing a swap on the far back statue, given him being able to pull off the book cheese on the last one. So I think we will be keeping everybody that's going to the statues completely in vision, and then we're not going to be cheating too far to the right in this game.
Yeah, we're respecting the sniper here. I'm not sure too why. We could have gotten a flirt here. Instead, we decide to just sip our drink and go in front of the sniper.
Yeah, I think it's mixed on whether or not it was going to be good or not. There's so few people in the beginning of that Tame game that the remaining people in conversation could be paired. I don't think it would have caused us problems. We do have a whole highlight here on Bling. Maybe they picked up some book credit or something like that, but they could have been paired as well, or it could be a twin differentiator. There's a million things it could be. Who knows?
Yeah, we're gonna join our conversation with Double Agent here. It's not too bad of a BB. Well, it's getting worse. Um, we don't have any progress actually, and we're almost down to 2 minutes. I don't want a purloin either. So now we've got a drink, which is even almost worse, and we don't have anything. I hope we can take our flirt here.
Yeah, this looks like Ada is setting up for a purloin later. This looks like a drink this drink, get some progress just as a something to have in the back of our pocket. But I think that this is going to be a pressure shot on Wrestler later, where we're going to take a contact, take a purloin, and then either Wrestler's going to shoot out. Although, as I say that, we are going to go get this briefcase. We're gonna, yeah, okay, there we go. So maybe not. Maybe we actually are gonna be going for a mission win.
Or maybe we just want party movement, but that briefcase is indeed, if we are trying to finish, it's a little late. ST is not being nice. Instead, we're not going to rejoin that conversation. We're going to go back to the front. We've got 75 seconds. Are we really going to try and finish here? We can't do much. DA is out, so we know that even if we try to fake BB, we'd have even less suspects. Maybe DA
It
is
looks
nice.
this to me feels like we're setting up for purloin. We're putting ourselves behind Soji. We might even banana bread before this happens. No purloin, but we are gonna banana bread after the offer, which we reject. And so I think that there's gonna be a stress moment here for Wrestler. We might go for a bug. No. Okay, well, I actually don't know what's happened because like I was expecting us to use the reject slash contact as a problems point where like exactly this where we're super focused on purloin to be able to get something else done. I guess we do have this fingerprint option which we are going to go and grab, and uh, we are going to get highlight for finishing fingerprint. So it's going to be a tough finish here. I mean, obviously we can finish the flirt, but then what? Maybe we're gonna have to request right now. I guess we're repositioning.
That is. Maybe it's not seen actually. Maybe the sniper was too focused on the list. We need to finish flirt. It doesn't go off.
It doesn't.
It's 98%.
Yeah, it wasn't gonna take. We have to hit the. We would have had to hit the green for it. So I don't mind how we. I mean, honestly, just going for the bug there. going all in on the bug into a potential for flirt, um, which is going to be tough. I feel like the sequencing on that could have been a little bit smoother. I also just feel like we could have just taken a stab at all of that same stuff we just went for. I feel like we had opportunities for 20 seconds earlier.
Yeah, I think we just bugged out of desperation, and the shot was just like, was that really a bug? Am I sure? Because that was a very strange stop in the middle of nowhere to bug. But, and it was 98% anyways on the flirt, so it would have been a timeout.
All right, all right.
Okay, let's move on into our last game of Tayen, playing as Wheels. In 3, 2, 1, playing it.
So it started off as being really a promising moment for Ada, is now Ada needing to snipe for this on their venue to come away from this level. So Wrestler going to be able to apply a lot of pressure here for sure. And actually, Wrestler's on the same Soji setup as Ada was in the first game, where they were able to take a little bit of a lead. But I don't think they're going to be able to get away with the same kinds of shenanigans there for sure.
Yeah, we managed to get a white flirt here. I think we're going to bid our time a little bit at least, just to see what the party's going to give us. Yeah, we're just going to go back to the front, maybe for a time ad, but I don't think so.
Yeah, looks like no timeout here. It's interesting. Timeout on Tan on the front is this interesting prospect of um, it is easier to see the clock on Taeyin because of how much time you spent zoomed in. There's nothing distracting you. The upper right hand's always dark, and so it's easiest to see that. Oh, as I say that, we do hit a green time ad, so we are going to go for the second one. So normally when we think of time ads, okay, you can go for one where you're kind of hidden behind Soji or just in the background and not be seen at all. But also you can go in the front, presuming that the sniper is pretty much just always zoomed in. So it doesn't seem like there's a reaction to the time ad yet. It is a good venue in theory for the time ads because like meaningful stuff happens all of the time for the AI as far as like getting bug credit, getting statues, getting more talks. They're all just doing stuff. They're near problems. So this could work out really well for Wrestler.
Yeah, we're waiting a bit more. I don't mind it too much, but it's always kind of a problem where you're pacing yourself. It's dangerous not to do stuff for too long. But I think we're just going to timer flirt here and then try and find our 2 other missions along with contact.
Yeah, and it also depends on like what's going on and what's available in any given spot. So we are going to finish our flirt here. Again, finishing flirt early on Taeyin among the least consequential. So a spot full for ambassador. So not going to be doing anything with that. We could go for this. I think there's a difficult on that maybe, but not anymore. So there's not a fingerprint available there. The fingerprint is getting smudged at green bookcase. So honestly, the availability of any dynamic options like bug, fingerprints, seduction target, all of those are kind of off the table, and the only things left are things that are pretty static, like swap, inspect, transfer, and I guess kind of depends on how many rejects are on tray for you to consider that dynamic. Or we take a very obviously non-printable briefcase, maybe trying to lose some heat. I don't know if we're going to get rewarded for that at all by Ada.
Yeah, now this is the issue. We're down to 60 seconds and we have only 1 mission. Contacts, we're in the wrong conversation for contact, and we still got 2 missions to do after that. Instead, we're going to do a fake BB trying to bait a shot. I don't think it's going to happen, though. Unless we're going for a purloin. There we go. It's white, though. What's going to be the reaction?
I think that's the easiest to see purloin possible on Taeyin. Ada is not taking a shot for it though. Like this is interesting. So I think Ada has seen that there's a purloin, but isn't quite sure about the fade, even though it was a very clean for Taeyin, a very clean purloin. It's possible that they still haven't seen it though. I would just assume so because it was directly on screen. We gulp, so we only have 25 seconds left for 2 missions. Certainly one of them is going to be contact, and the other, I would just guess bug, just based on the fact that Ambush could be coming near us here. We are going to get this bug. It's pretty good for wheels without like being buried in the back of the conversation circle. So it's going to be a bummer if we don't at least force a finish in here. We are adjusting conversation circle. We are going to be facing the sniper. It just seems like the person we're going to shoot if there's OT. We're going to have 4 seconds of OT, but we're not going to be sure about it. We don't seem to be able to find anyone to shoot, and we are going to shoot the wrong person. And Rustler is able to take a 4-2 lead on honestly a game that was very winnable from Ada's position, but they were just slow on the purloin.
Yeah, the purloin was quite visible, quite on screen, but the bug was just really good. Invisible because of Disney and text just completely blocking vision here from the sniper. And then quick change of conversation for the banana bread, and then we just didn't know who to shoot.
Yeah, absolutely. Like, I think Ada expected a timeout. Almost certainly expected a timeout because it didn't seem like they even had like a sure shot lined up. I think that maybe they had a read where okay, if I see a timeout on Taeyin and there's just like not that much activity, like nobody really seems to be finishing in specs or fingerprints or anything like that. I think they might try to throw a purloin in there just to bait out a shot. Again, not even sure if they ever saw the purloin, but they were just making the kind of play where it's like, I think you're just going to try to throw in a timeout there. But Wrestler able to get it agreed on the bug and able to force at least an OT. And if you're able to force OTs, even if it's like, in a kind of jangled way, you're just going to get some wins sometimes. So good on Wrestler. And Ada has some catching up to do at this point.
Yeah, Wrestler now up 2 games. This is a slightly longer set though, so anything can happen, but always nice to see a little advantage. Wrestler very happy about this, I'm sure. We're now moving on to High Rise, one of our 3 of X venues, and starting the first game in 3, 2, 1, playing it.
Do we know if this is A3 of X, one of transfer or swap, or if it's free A3 of X?
I believe it's one of transfer or swap. We would have
Cool.
probably seen fingerprint otherwise being on rather than transfer.
Yeah, I was just making sure because I know that sometimes we played around with it. I do like this approach. It's a little bit wonky, of course, but it's just that the other missions are just so much better than transfer and swap often. Um, so far, although the transfer pick is working out pretty well because we're throwing so much attention towards techs in the back here, as well as the bug path for Amba, that Wrestler's not able to guard pretty much anything else. Nothing actually happens, but anytime that you're forcing a sniper to guard just like 1 or 2 things, I think since everything else in there, they might feel a little bit concerned just the rest of the game that they haven't been on top of the entire party and having a sense of exactly what's going on. Ada not really, again, getting much out of that, but still a little bit of a liability for the sniper coming in later.
Yeah, I usually say we have more time on this venue because you've got more than 3 minutes and you only have to do 3 missions. Here we're down to 2 minutes. There's a green flirt. Unfortunately, we're slightly far away, so we're still going to need 2 more flirts. And we're actually not doing too well on time, which is not something you see too often on high rise.
Yeah, I mean, you're able to. There's enough stuff nearby that you can force a finish pretty quickly, but not the position you want to be on high rise because you want to be so available to what high rise gives you that you don't want to end up forcing stuff too much. We are going to be planning a bug on our way in. That is well executed entry on bug. We might still get a path credit for it, but just that is the way you execute that bug. So we path into the location with the bug with our left hand being the closest bug opportunity so that it starts that bug, and then we as soon as we're able to stop in that pad, that arm swings out wide behind us using our own body as cover so that the bug actually isn't, or sorry, the bugging hand isn't available to be seen. So even if we're guarding the other hand of bug while that's happening to try to guard the bug, we don't see the hand on the other side, and we seem to get away with it very well. Just a nice technical clean bug so far, which is going to really help with our pace here as we try to finish up this flirt and presumably contact, although now we have the ability to do an inspect silent game if we so choose.
Yeah, that's kind of the decision here. I mean, Double Agent isn't really giving us a decision to make. We're gonna have to go inspect, given they're going back to book. But that could have been a decision between do you go silent game inspect or do you go for a contact. We're down to 15 seconds. We were really hoping for that double agent to join back. We're going to get our white contact. There's going to be about 2 seconds of overtime here.
We're gonna be talking during it, so I think we're the overtime shot. It's whether or not wrestler. Oh, actually, maybe Wheels. Wheels is the overtime shot. I was gonna say it's gonna be really close. So honestly, despite an amazing bug, that was a little bit closer than Ada would want that game to be for sure. Like I am pretty sure we are easily the second on the list over there. If Wheels wasn't in conversation during that, I am pretty sure we are the shot. But Ada able to pick it up. If there's a highlight in conversation at the last second, there's OT. You might as well shoot them. But yeah, Ada able to get with it with again just a lovely bug. Really really happy with that bug and how it was positioned. And just I don't know if Ada was thinking about it in this moment about like where the sniper would want to position themselves, but like just invisible and so bold that you wouldn't expect it. So good on Ada for finding a finish there. Similar to that wrestler game, actually, to be honest, very similar to the wrestler win on Taeyin, where both of them honestly were a little bit under the pressure of the clock. And then they found their way back to an OT through an excellent bug. So congrats to Ada, and Ada able to get a little bit closer to potentially making this level.
Yeah, just a completely invisible bug to the sniper there. So that's your third mission, and that's sometimes all you need. Let's get into our second game here, playing as Irish in 3, 2, 1, playing it. Okay, we're going to
Oh,
join back in the conversation. We had a potential opportunity for bug. Okay, we're just going to go for a white flirt and immediately leave. I don't mind it. I like it. Just make it, get a nice, easy flirt first and just get some more time if you can just to do other stuff.
yeah, I actually I really like that too because literally what I was about to ask you was how do you like to open on high rise? Because I have such troubles opening on high rise because I one don't really like getting I really am averse to getting marked suspicious early on high rise. I hate it. I don't know how to play from there on high rise in particular. But also I really want to watch to see who does stuff on high rise, and then I find myself behind on time. Like it's a problem overall for me, but just seeing this is that's a great little maneuver because that way we just get a little bit of pace up there. But do you have any preferences when it comes for your starts on high res?
I like sometimes going just straight to center statues and you're just telling the sniper, hey, I'm here. Now I'm gonna finish flirt and contact. Are you going to shoot me? Because like it's just a potential shot, but I could just be an AI as well. So that's a good bait. Otherwise, you just go for the standard start of any game, which is just flirt, which is nice. You do some progress and you just do find a third mission somewhere.
Yeah. And also, if we didn't get that flirt, this would actually be really painful. This seduction bailing and then going to inspects. Uh, if if it wasn't if we didn't have a really clean inspect visit that uh we wouldn't necessarily want to worry about like oh did we maybe hit a white inspect and didn't get both inspects. I would say we could join our seduction target at inspects here because it wouldn't theoretically get us any more credit than going middle statue would go. But I mean there's like the potential that going in you could have missed a statue and that going to the second statue was you cleaning up your middle inspect visit reluctantly. So I it seems like the game agrees also and sends seduction target back to us for an even better flirt. So seems like we're actually back on pace again after that quick start.
Yeah, we're missing just a contact here, and obviously another flirt. But given we have a double agent in our conversation right now, I'm not too concerned. They started talking as well, so as the spy, you can be pretty sure they're going to stay for a little while longer.
Drink offer, which I mean could be what we want, but we do not take it because like that was very essentially a way to try to dive this in before to do a silent game. But I think we're just going to flirt and go for the contact and just try to force. Hey, are you really just going to shoot a center swap, seduce, contact, finish?
Yeah, I wouldn't wait too long. I mean, obviously, we've got only 5 seconds now if we want to avoid overtime. This is actually, yeah, much worse now. We're going to go for the bug instead. We missed the bug. We're gonna go for a time ad instead.
We have got back, honestly. Oh my God. We didn't realize it at the time. We are going to get this time ad just barely under here. Ada's not noticing the time ad yet, but we have to. Okay, we see Rocker. I think we're focused on Rocker
No.
being the person that could have been focused on. We might even get Lolit in here. Okay, we don't get Lolit, so at least Ada hasn't overreacted extremely here. But it's Rocker and us that definitely could have been the people involved in it. But now we're gonna have this problem of like, okay, time ads are great, but they're only 45 seconds, and Rocker is completely out of it. And if we contact here with Rocker out, I'm pretty sure we're just dead. So we're gonna reposition ourselves to follow Double
No.
Agent. We're gonna be oh no, we're going to
Where are we
very
going?
okay. I kind of actually see the theory here. We're gonna make it look like we didn't want to go into the contact. There is gonna be overtime. Rocker is gonna be out of it. I think it is gonna be us in OT, and yes, it is. I like the theory. So there was gonna be okay. Let's actually. I want to see this pathing. So if we follow Double Agent in directly, right? It'll be like, well, okay, of course it's the spy. By going past the conversation circle, we make it look like we weren't diving in for a last second Double Agent, and we're forcing at least maybe a little sliver of doubt into the sniper's mind, and they may be looking at other people. Unfortunately, suspected Double Agent left after taking a drink. So actually, in the end, an earlier BB technically it would have been slightly better because it would have. Well, actually, that banana bread was so close that maybe you still credit Boots with getting that BB off. Maybe you still do. So actually, I think it actually ended up working about as well as you could hope for a last second diving BB.
Yeah, I wonder if instead of going for the time ad, well, attempted bug in the first place, but then time ad, we just go for a banana bread. Are we shot for that? I'm not entirely sure.
Yeah, I mean, obviously missing the bug. I mean, we stuck our arm out and we didn't get shot, so hitting that bug equals game one for sure. So a bummer there for Wrestler. Some interesting attempts to try to salvage it, but yeah, Ada able to find the correct shot under pretty stressful circumstances. So bummer for Wrestler, but I mean, after all that, we are back to even. So they both, at least in theory, have an equal shot at winning this.
Yep, back to even, and we're moving on to a big venue that Wrestler had actually restricted, so we didn't want to see too much of, and we're only going to see 2 games here. We're starting off as Irish, and Adafheyesh is the spy in 3, 2, 1, playing it.
And here you have a lot more control. Like high rise, I mean, of course, the spy always has a certain amount of control that they should ignore, and they should kind of like be an instigator of action in a lot of ways. Um, but high rise, I feel like often you are a little bit just looking for what the party gives you as an individual agent, and then two, what are the rest of the characters doing on the map, and so you're kind of like just watching them, seeing what's available as far as like playing off of what they've done with their threat levels. Modern, there's a lot more instigation that's just going to be required on the spy's part, just in general. So curious how they play off of that, especially given that they've come off of Tayan, High Rise now. Um, where did we start this on? Tayan was
Aquarium?
4 games. Aquarium. You're right. Yes, thank you. Aquarium. So yeah, this is more a return to an aquarium-like thing. Although I guess aquarium, you do actually have to instigate on the shark. So, well, I mean, I rambled there for a full long time, and we still haven't done any missions, so that means we're behind pace. But Seduction Target does stop at a very nice position for us.
I mean, you're talking, but we're not doing much, so you might as well. We're at 33%, so that's not much either. We're down to 2 minutes 40. Yes, we only have 4 missions to do, but it's a big venue, and walking from one side to the other doesn't take 3 seconds like it does on high rise. It actually takes a good 15 seconds. We're going to try and pick up a delegate here, but we're going to have to pick up the pace a little bit to finish our missions if we want to.
Yeah, absolutely. And actually, you caught me out in a very traditional habit of mine, which is when you switch venues, I like talking about the venues at the beginning of the first game. And if I run out of steam, if I run out of like my first point and there's not mission progress for me to transition into, it means the spy is behind. It means they've taken too long to get something done so far. It's the easiest way for me to track timing is just if I've started to run out. Although we do get a nice banana bread actually for getting to flirt at the same time.
I mean, I'll just listen to you now talking about the venues when I start my game, and if I haven't done anything by the time you're finished, then I know I'm behind on my missions. It's perfect. Uh,
Absolutely.
in the meantime, we have a contact. We haven't finished flirt. We're almost done. We have a highlight, actually. What is that highlight for?
That's a great question. Is it for the send? Like a delayed send highlight? Or sorry,
It was,
but it's before, yeah. Hmm.
yeah.
Maybe it's a delayed bar highlight for knowing that there could have been a send. I guess we'll find out if there's a neutral light after there's no take. But I mean, I guess it could still just stick. So yeah, we are going to rejoin our seduction target. It's be an easy finish here. We get neutral, so I think it was just like being like, oh, actually, you have the ooh, we get caught nicely guarded by wrestler. Even after we mark them down, we see the opportunity, and so smart, by the way, for this positioning. I think this is a great thing to learn if you are on. There's a lot of venues it's applicable to, but especially on venues like Modern. I think the thing that most players would want to do is they want to make their laser rotate to the right because they want to follow ambassador and they want to see the arm on the close side, right? Wrestler actually rotates the other direction, finds the line of sight through the conversation, the gap in the conversation circle, to see where the hand returns to. Really well guarded. It's just a bug catch that you need to get used to, and just in the moment. Not every time will snipers actually remember to make sure that they guard in this way, but just well done. Aware of the opportunity of it coming up, and denies Ada being able to try to find something after this moment.
Yeah, Wrestler also mentioning being suspicious of Daesh for the send and for pathing, which is also we used to say pathing was like kind of the funny thing you were caught for. Like you would just if you didn't really know why someone was suspicious, you would just say I caught you for pathing. Nowadays, it's quite a legitimate strategy, and we see lots of players getting caught for pathing issues as the spy.
Absolutely. Yeah, no, agreed. Especially now. Now that people have also gotten better at ambiently figuring out which things that they can catch pathing for. Like the communal knowledge around pathing has gone up so that not like somebody in chat almost always, if there's a pathing thing, they will say like that was for pathing, that was for this specific pathing thing. So there's less mystery to it these days. The only mysterious one still is behaviorism.
Absolutely, and we are moving to our second and last game of Modern here with Oprah in 3, 2, 1, playing it.
Yeah, and obviously Ada under the pressure now to find this shot. Uh, we will see how long we hang out in this conversation circle. We are okay. We are not staying in so long that there's animation breaks and all that kind of stuff. We are going to go for this, and we're going to grab a statue off of it as well. We actually have the available. Oh, we're accidentally swapping. Oh no! That's action test priorities. That's so bad. We actually then we try to go for this the briefcase grab because we do have to on our way out. Um, Wrestler needs to rush this game. Like that's just it. Wrestler has to rush this game and hope that it's going to take them too long, Ada too long to find that white swap. That's tragic. So that's action test priorities almost certainly, unless Wrestler was trying to go for a green, which is very possible. I just don't think they would go for it this early.
Yeah, there was also a ambassador on the way out there. We could have tried to bug, and honestly, if we hadn't bugged and it landed, and now we swapped, I think we would have been in a great position actually. We are just rushing though. We've got a purloined. We are suspicious. Are we dead for contact though? And one more flirt? Not sure.
Yeah, I feel like well, like this is the right way, right? Like just go finish this flirt. We don't hit the green, which is wrestler just wants this pain to be over of not knowing whether or not they're going to be caught out in this white swap. So they shake their camera. They have plenty of time to finish this seduction and get the contact. But like wrestler is completely correct. One by one, there's like fewer and fewer guest members. Like there's just like low light, 5 seconds low light. Although that has stopped. Um, so we are no longer. Oh, double agent might be joining us, but he does not know that there's already a suspected double agent with us, and he's spinning his camera because he thinks that life is so unfair. But he is going to finish this floor at least, and actually, double agent might join on their way back out of this window.
Unfortunately, does not. We finished a flirt at least. We were really hoping for the DA to join a conversation, but that doesn't seem to be the case. Instead of just going to bookcase now, we're stuck waiting here. We've got a minute and a half, a bit more than a minute and a half here to hope for the ambassador, double agent, to join our conversation. But let's see.
Gotcha. All right. Let's see what we're gonna be able to pull out of this. So I mean, double agent's gonna go to bar, so it's we're seeing more shakes. So I mean, like honestly, at this point, I wonder if we're gonna just like think about something else. But it's been a silent game so long that honestly, Ada I think is gonna be focusing more and more and more on everything except for contact. So I think we're kind of like stuck in a spot right now.
Yeah, and DA just does not want to join a conversation. It's been 2 minutes now. And we're down to the final minute. We're supposed to talk. There we go. There's our talk. Hopefully Twin joins that conversation. There we go. We could join as well. And then wait just a little bit to take the contact. Hopefully not too long that they leave again. But we should be able to maybe get away with it.
Yeah, and I actually have to step away for a minute here, so you're gonna be solo casting for just a little bit, Gabriel.
No worries.
Banana bread.
There's our banana bread. We've got 10 seconds. The shot does come off though, and that's 4 missions, but 4 missions sometimes is just not enough. I think the swap might have been seen. The purloin was also very, very direct there. We're just in front of the sniper, just taking the guest list, and then we're just directly being highlighted for it. And then we just have to wait the whole game for DA to join the conversation, which is unfortunate. Let's move on to the next game here. We've got back to tie 5-5. We're now on pub. Adafheyesh is playing as queen, starting in 3, 2, 1, playing it. We want nothing to do with the pub door, the infamous pub door, where all kinds of pathing things happen. Instead, we're going to go for a seduce here. 51%, nice green. Pub is a venue where you have limited time, 2 minutes 45, to do 3 missions, kind of in contrast to High Rise, where you have a full 45 seconds or a time add more. So here you're limited in time, but you do have inspects, which is just 1 statue, so you don't have to go to 2 sets or go to center statue. We're just going to be waiting here in this conversation, not doing much, just scouting the party. Our seduction target is actually going to go to a statue, so if we can get them into a double agent conversation as well, that would be great. I'm kind of concerned for time. I think we're just going to go for a sieve shot here. We might want to rejoin the conversation. Bug? No, we don't try for the bug. Instead, we're going to go to the bar and pick up probably a delegate, I assume. Or just directly purloin and get General shot. Absolutely. What did General do here? Did we actually... Could General actually have sent us? Yeah, absolutely. General could have sent us. And then... Did General have a third mission, though? Because there was no contact. So we're just getting shot for sending here. Well, we're not getting shot. We're getting General shot for it. Very nicely played by Ada there. Just nice control of the party here. Let's move on to our next game with Ada having a slight lead. If they can continue that lead, that would be very nice for them as the sniper. Wrestler here playing as Ponytail, and 3, 2, 1, playing it. Okay, we're gonna join our ST here for 34%. Standard sniper start, standard spy start. And we're just gonna scout the party a bit just to see what's happening in general. Wrestler here really hoping for a win, doesn't want to go into more sets of pub and the final venue just with a disadvantage. We're gonna chase our ST into that far conversation. We don't really care if it's white or green. It is gonna be white, 68%, just a close-up flirt with finish that. But what's our plan after this? Always the question of the third mission here. We're just going to go and finish our flirt. DA currently in another conversation. We could try and join that and contact. Do we want to bug? We're trying. Bug actually lands. Was it seen? That's the question. We're actually still guarding the bug, so I think that was just clean from Wrestler there. If we can get the contact off when there's a couple of people in conversation, now there's more movement, so that's the opportunity is a little lost. We've got a minute though, so we can wait a little bit, just hoping that RDA doesn't leave. $60 to go. I think we want to wait. We were supposed to talk there, but as long as the sniper's not checking for that, we'll be fine. There we go. That's the problem. Now DA's out, and we have to do a third mission. We are just going to go to bar. I doubt we're going to go for a direct, but we might have to given the time left. We're eyeing the statue. Not sure what the plan here is. Yeah, we're rejecting and just going straight for statue instead. Here's the time to shoot, because you've got 10 seconds. We're not shooting. 4 seconds. That's Wrestler getting away with a spy win and just tying it. Oh, and Queen also had Inspects and Prince. So yeah, that's a lot of missions for 2 people. So we just didn't take the shot. We weren't sure who was going to finish, and that's it. That's Wrestler getting away with tying things up. Okay, more pub now. Getting into, I mean, we love pub. We got pub multiplied here. So let's go as Adafheyesh here plays as Teal. That was the spy for last set. 3, 2, 1, playing it. We're waiting a little bit on the door there, just waiting for everyone to go through the door. Then we can go. We're actually doing a white time ad there. Just going straight for it. And then straight into statues, just one mission. Well, time ad is not a mission, but it's still nice progress. Getting more time. We could actually go for a bug there if we were so bold. I don't particularly recommend it, but it would be very nice if we could get away with it. We're not going to do that. Instead, I think we're just going to go fingerprint. There we go, does 1 print. This could be a setup for a silent game here. Just 2 fingerprints, inspect and flirt. And no need for contact. We're actually... I don't mind it, actually. We're going for the second set of statue. Yeah, we're actually being rewarded for this, going to the second set of statue. I really like that play. 1 cycle. We don't want to lose too much time here. We got a reward. It's great. Our life is great as the spy right now. We could just go for the second briefcase. That's not what we're doing, though. We're going to need a second fingerprint at some point. But we've got time. We've got 2 minutes on the clock with our time ad, which was very nice. I mean, frankly, I don't see how you lose this now. Just, you're in a really good position. Okay, you cannot timer flirt, though. You've got a 23%, unfortunately, so you're going to have to go away. You need a fingerprint anyway. So that's an opportunity for you to leave and come back later. We could also forego flirt entirely, given the time we have, if DA is nice, but I don't... DA is just going back inside now, which doesn't seem too nice. I'm actually getting a little concerned about time now, because we still need a fingerprint. We need to finish flirt. We're not moving. There we go. We're going to fetch that briefcase with a strange redirect. Waiting for the ambassador to go somewhere before returning it. And now the issue is we need to flirt. Yeah, we're not going to flirt. We're just going to go contact. Okay, that was Ada shaking their head at that. Not happy with that entry at all. But we're low lit. Who cares? There's not that many people in conversation, and actually most of them are low lights. There's actually only one neutral light in conversation right now. This would be a pretty bad banana bread, but Ada doesn't know that. We're gonna contact 10 seconds on the clock for mission win countdown. Yeah, Twin is high lit because he's the only one in conversation that's not low lit. We're bringing back some low lights, but I mean, it's too late. The spy's gotten away with it. Very nicely played from Ada. Just a lot of spy wins here. You love to see it, especially at such a high level, and they're getting some great games in. That inspect into second set of statues to get to fetch that low light was just really well played. And Wrestler just getting bamboozled is what's happening, unfortunately for him. But let's get into our last game. We're getting teal again. Love to see it. We love teal. Wrestler really hoping for a win here, otherwise all he can get is a tie. Starting in 3, 2, 1, playing it. Okay, we're gonna start with the flirt here, 34%. And now we just wanna look a bit at the party, just know what's our third mission gonna be. SDA going to statues doesn't really help us, but we don't mind it too much either. Instead, we're gonna go and try and chase our ST going to statues, so that's not gonna be possible unless we want to be 3 on a statue bad. We're gonna delegate a Purloin. I'm not too sure. Again, pub is a venue where you have limited time compared to other venues. It's the venue where you have the least amount of time, in fact. And we're burning quite a bit of time just waiting for ST to go away, who seem to redirect on the same time. They've been there for a while. We are adding time. I like that call. You're just seeing our STs not being cooperative. So adding time is a very good call. It's a green test as well, so difficult to see, obviously, for the sniper.
Banana bread.
Real banana bread, so that's only 1 low light. Wow. But there's only 3 reels as well, so there's a trade-off there. We didn't know our DSDA wasn't in. But I still like that contact. We are missing 2 more flirts and the third mission. Delegate Purloin timer has expired. So we're not going to be able to do that. No, we don't want to go for the bug. Too dangerous. We still need to flirt twice. We've got the time for it. But you need to be careful. My issue here is the third mission. We need to go away to do a third mission and then come back all the way over here. Oof.
Banana bread.
Known fake. I generally like it, but DA was completely out. SDA was also out. So that was just a known fake, giving out a few more lowlights. And we're down to a minute, and we don't have... We could try and bug over there. But we're still missing our third mission here. ST leaves, which is not what we want when Timer Flirt was about to expire. We are not going to bug. It would have been quite visible. I think we're just gonna purloin directly. Going to inspect statues now is pretty dangerous. That is a very nice bug, but I'm not sure whether that was seen. We still need a flirt. Queen is coming towards us. She has a briefcase, so that's 15 seconds. Briefcase is given. If she walks for too long, we're not going to make that flirt. She's going to statues windows. That's going to be a very close. There's going to be overtime. If we're paired, we're dead. If we're not paired, Seek gets shot instead. Yeah, I don't blame that shot. It's Seek is just redirecting there. Couldn't have done much, but at the same time, who could have? So if you didn't pair with Queen at the end there for that flirt, you're just not sure who could have done that, actually. Just nicely played for that bug there. I want to see that again. It's just very difficult to see. Ada was checking for it, and the arm is very, very briefly visible. But it's just very difficult to see in the chaos of those three guests' movement. So well played from Wrestler. And we're tied up again. Like all of these matches, I'm just seeing ties going into the last venue, and it's beautiful. I love it. So each game here again is going to be worth 1 point into the final standings. So pretty important. But this is not balcony. We're on the opposite end of the spectrum. This is probably the most standard venue you can think of. And we're starting off here, Rocker, as Adafheyesh, which is usually the other way around, but that works as well. In 3, 2, 1, playing it. Okay, we're walking around quite a bit. I'm gonna go to window pad. Yeah, we don't do anything. We don't want to do anything with that drink. We don't want to take a drink. We don't want to purloin. We just want to avoid Toby for now. ST going to window. We might follow. There we go. Yeah. 3 at windows. Not as bad as 3 at bookcases, but it's pretty unlikely as well. 51% flirt. That's very nice. We love to see it. And we're just going to chill here for a little bit, burn a bit of time while flirt cooldown expires. DA is not going to join conversations for a little while. It would have been nice. Those conversations are looking pretty full. Time is running out slowly, though, at a rate of 1 second per second, but we are being offered a drink. We are rejecting again. I think we need to join our ST here, just finish our flirt, at least do some kind of progress instead of talking. Yeah. There we go. It is green. We are going to finish that mission at least. The issue here now is we've got 1:45 on the clock, and we need to do 3 more missions. What are we looking for? Purloin? Desperate purloin? No, we're not looking for purloin. We could also time ad. I wouldn't mind a time ad right now. Sniper's not looking too much for it. Yeah, I think that's what we're eyeing. There we go. Green time ad. Sniper's clock is going to slow down. Spy has 2 minutes now on the clock, which is nice to see. But we're burning more time, which, like, when you have 3 missions to do, you still need to do missions. Okay, we're gonna go to Style Statue at least. Complete some inspects. We still need to go get contact. We are getting marked as a highlight, but it's just a statue highlight, so we don't care too much. Yeah, we were eyeing that bug. It's quite a nice bug. I don't know how visible it was. It was very visible, sorry. My apologies. It was indeed extremely visible. I'm just a humble caster looking at the Spice perspective. Yeah, that's hard to spot though. Wow. Well spotted from Wrestler. Just impressive. Not impossible to spot for sure, but just a nice shot. Wrestler getting 1 point here, hoping for a second one. Starting as Twin this time. In 3, 2, 1, playing it. Obviously, Spy wins slightly harder, especially at this such high level. 4 at statues. It's a lot of people at statues. The RST is bounced off there. Was that 5 at statues? With text as well? Wow. I've never seen that. Small man also joining. We love those back statues. Okay, in the meantime, we're joining RST. Yeah, we're getting a little closer. I don't think we needed to do that. I don't know why we did that, but we did it. And we're not even getting the green, so it was kind of unnecessary risk there. But I don't think we were seen, so it's fine. Rejecting a drink. We don't want drinks. We don't want our hands full. That takes up actions unnecessarily. And as long as we're not being punished for it, then we don't care too much. We seem to be staying a bit more in the conversation here, so we're gonna timer flirt, I assume, or not. We're just gonna leave. Go to another empty conversation. Not too sure why. I probably would have preferred just staying in the conversation, waiting 15 more seconds for that timer flirt. That's why, because we want a green purloin. Fair enough. Okay, now we're getting back with our ST. It is green, but unfortunately it's not going to be direct, it's not going to be a finish. Actually, the SDA takes the list. I don't know if it was seen.
Banana bread.
There is a fake. It's not real, unfortunately. The DA is not in a conversation. Some lowlights and highlights coming off. None onto us. Now we're just taking an innocent drink because we're going for a second BB. Okay, we just probably eyeing wheels here quite a bit as the only highlight I can see that has real. If we want to finish, we're going to have a hard time now. We need to do a third BB plus another mission plus flirt, which I don't think is the plan. I think we're just hoping for a safe shot onto wheels here. A minute left on the clock with the beep. What are we looking to do? We've got flirt to finish, but that's the wrong direction for it. Unless Queens join us. Nah, she doesn't want anything with us. Anything to do with us. Okay, that's looking like a nice conversation. We've got flirt to finish, contact, and a shot. That... Wow. I'm surprised by that shot, actually. Well, just being on top of the purloin. Well done. We're just joining a conversation with finishing our flirt, and we're getting shot for it for only 2 missions. With 2 BBs, fake BBs as well. And that's it. GG's to both players, getting a tie again. I almost want to say there are too many ties, but there can never be too many ties. Ties are great. It's great to see ties in all leagues here, divisions. It's really nice to see. Congratulations to both players for making it out. This game is, if you're new here, this game is SpyParty. You can get it on spyparty.com or on Steam. And you can also join the Discord on discord.com/SpyParty. And we hope to see you soon. thank you so much for watching this cast, and we'll see you tomorrow in about 21 hours.